Hello and welcomes back everyone, AnthWolf here with part 2 of Pillars of Eternity. After the long episode of an introduction and character creation, the last thing I want to do is just mention about the attributes and what bonuses we've received from choosing our attributes as they are. And then we'll actually get into playing the game, or going into further introduction and then explaining some of the game mechanics. But then we'll get actually to some gameplay. So obviously with our might at 15 here, we have a plus 15% to our damage and healing, plus 10 to our fortitude, which is our internal effect, defenses against poison, disease, I think paralysis as well. Constitution increases our endurance and health by 15% and plus 10 again to our fortitude. Perception gives us a plus 12 interrupt chance, and therefore hopefully we may be able to interrupt people's attacks or casting. This is balanced against another character's concentration, so hopefully that's high. And then we have plus 4 deflection and plus 8 reflex, and again this is balanced out with our resolve, which also gives us further deflection. It actually gives us a defense against will, mental based attacks as well. And this gives us actually 12 concentration, so actually works well with our perception here. And of course we don't have any points in intellect, even though it recommends it, mostly because I want a bit more strength and constitution. So yeah, with that, let us begin. Journey to the Gilded Vale, our first actual quest. And here is the Caravan Master.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there. Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who would be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
Turning to us, he frowns as he looks us over.
Touch of the rumbling rock, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water.
So we've got to stay hydrated then. Got it.
I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker. But see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Ah, and he's talking to Sparfeld, one of the guides of the caravan. So we'll ask the Caravan Master, where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
You were mentioning those ruins that the hut dwellers would kill us for. What are those?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
So, as the first tutorial pop-up here tells us about, depending on our skills or attributes, we may unlock new conversation options from the dialogue and responses we get from the various people we talk to. So now we can ask who did build the ruins.
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Is it dangerous around here?
Not if you hurry about your business. And not if the weather holds up.
What kind of weather do they have out here?
This time of year? Rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beawick. Born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself. Never cared to.
Speaking of ruins and terrain, what are these huge rocks coming up out of the ground?
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty wise. I'll go see about these springberries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
Scanning over the travellers, he rests his eyes on a sturdy armour-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Calisca. Calisca!
And she looks up.
He needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
And there's Calisca.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Yeah, this conversation's very, very much the Infinity Engine conversation. Even the end dialogue and continue buttons here. And here we are. Welcome to Pillars of Eternity. If this is your first visit to the world of Aura, you may want to watch these windows become familiar with the tools and interfaces available to you. Your party always consists of your character and up to 5 additional companions or adventurers. While the caravan is camped outside the Glenfartham ruins, Odema has assigned Calisca to help you. I'm going to keep mispronouncing her name, I apologise. I'll keep forgetting video to video. Calisca is her name right now. Yes. She is a fighter, a class that excels in close quarters defence. Use her abilities to complement your own. To select a party member, click on their selection circle, their portrait, or press the number button that corresponds to their position in the party, starting with 1 at the left. To select multiple party members, click and hold anywhere on the screen and drag the marquee over the circles of the party members you would like to include. To move selected characters, yeah, we know this. That's fine. And obviously the game automatically paused there.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Sure.
So, here's our party, and there's obviously Caravan Master Odema. If I hold the tab, it brings up people we can talk to and things of interest, like this crate over here, which is locked. We have something over here, and I think there's further things in the encampment itself. You did mention these ruins, and if there is a... I suppose you can see foul wind, we may take shelter in them. We can't access them right now, but perhaps we will later on. I don't actually know that. I got a little bit further than this in my test video. But before we do anything else, we will look at our characters and explain some more of the game mechanics. So if we press J, first of all, we open up our journal. We have the Gilded Veil. Now, if you remember, obviously we had the prologue up scroll before. Gilded Vale, there is a local lord there who is offering land and wealth to any adventurers willing to settle in new lands. And we are part of the caravan going there for some reason or another, but obviously we've stopped for the night. And we're not doing very well, so we've got this new quest. A sudden sickness has come over my main character, and we have been urged to find some springberries. And he's also sent another guide called Sparfell to locate us some water. Apart from that, that's all we have. Apart from that, then we can go to our inventory screen holding Y. We have 2 items from pre-ordering the game. We have the giant miniature space piglet, not to be mistaken for the giant miniature space hamster from the Baldur's Gate series, but very similar. It just follows you around and it offers you nothing apart from companionship. This is interesting. Gorn's Pledge. It can be used twice per rest, and it restores a moderate amount of endurance. So even though it offers us no defense, it allows us to have a bit more survivability in combat, so I'll quite happily equip it. And that's all we have right now. Calisca has no items on her, but we are both wearing armor and we are both equipped with weapons at the moment. So I'm wearing some mail armor, which offers me a DR, which is damage reduction, of 9, and recovery speed of negative 45%. One thing you'll know is for every point in damage reduction, it normally reduces your recovery speed by 5%, which makes sense. And damage reduction, I'll talk about combat probably when we get into combat, but suffice to say 9 damage reduction right now is half decent, but hopefully we'll find better. And I have a Warhammer. It deals crushing damage, it swings at an average speed, it's one-handed. It has an average chance of interrupting someone. And its base damage is 11 to 16 against an opponent's deflection. But because of my might, it will actually deal 13 to 18. And we have a shield, which offers us a bonus of 16 deflection, but it's actually reduced our accuracy by 8%. Large shields are used when a warrior needs the best protection possible, even if it means sacrificing some accuracy in exchange. Though they typically taper like an inverted teardrop, large shields come in a variety of shapes, often emblazoned with heredity. Oh, holy hell. And apparently we can enchant it, but we have no enchantments right now. Fair enough. I don't even know what that is. We can apparently craft things as well. Food and potions. Actually, and it tells us what ingredients we need. Interesting. This is something that we'll learn much later on. And obviously it tells us our health and endurance. How much damage we are dealing right now. Our accuracy, not very good. Our damage reduction from our armor. Let's have a look here. And obviously our different types of defences. We have high, deflection and fortitude. Kind of average reflex and will right now. And Calisca, actually she's about the same. The only real difference is she's wearing some scale armour, which is slightly weaker than the armour I'm wearing right now for my main character. And she's wielding a one-handed battle axe and a lit torch. So, yeah, not too bad. If we can go to our character screen here, we can actually look at her stats compared to my own. We have slightly more constitution, but she does have a lot more points in might. But we have more points in perception and, forgetting which one this is, resolve. We have no reputation right now, but our disposition, we have to remember, we need to reply in an honest or diplomatic manner. And that actually may affect which companions we may end up taking in the game, because we may want to take characters who are like-minded. So let's explore the camp a little. We have something here. These tall glass green pillars appear as if they sprouted from the earth. The flickering fire sets shadows dancing within. Let's have a look at this chest. Lockpick failed. We need either 1 mechanics or 1 lockpick to open this chest. The caravanners don't have really anything to say. They just normally just have this like one line of interest. But there is a character we want to find. Hayden here.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
We find a potion of minor regeneration. And 10 copper pand, which is high volume Derodian currency. I'll take that, thank you. And then we'll have a word. Oh, we'll quick save. You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road. Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
So we have a few options here. I think we might as well try. My thoughts exactly.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Can you tell me about the Ada Empire?
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Saris and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire. A fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
And so why do you move all the way out here and come with this caravan?
Because it seemed friendlier than Raed Saris? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
I see. And as it says, Dyrud is a former Adir colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. As much as I admire the Reasarans' work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. So yeah, that's high-minded of you. Not at all, just doing my part. I have now 1 rank in the Disposition Reputation. These reputations represent how people perceive your personality throughout the world. They even seemingly nasty reputations will be favoured by some people, and benign reputations will often bring out the worst in other people. No disposition is inherently good or bad in the Pillars of Eternity, but if your main character is a priest or paladin, you must be careful not to misalign their disposition with what is favoured by their deity and order respectively. For the main character, their dispositions will modify the effects of Holy Radiance and Faith for paladins. Thank you very much. Let's see what you have for sale. Obviously, this tells you how to store. We could trade things, and obviously you tell us how much money they would be worth. Stores will, if you buy something and then try to sell it back, they will buy it at a much reduced price. Likewise, if I sell something, I may find it in the store's inventory at like an inflated price. We probably want to keep all of the kind of regeneration items. This is endurance especially. Especially in combat, it means we can last a lot longer. And hopefully we can find some health potions as well, so we don't have to rest as option, especially when we get into situations where camping may not be ideal. So yeah, there's a lot of items now. We only have 110 copper right now. The only thing I really think I want to buy... the Brigandine might be nice. Plus 10 damage reduction. Reduces our recovery speed again. It must offer some defense against... Maybe it offers 13 damage against crush and only 8 damage reduction against corrosion. I might be wrong, I'm not 100% sure on that, but this is why we play the game, we discover things. Oh, and that's how we can actually compare it. So the mail armor actually gives us a bit more damage against slashing and crushing. Huh, okay. That's nice that they've got a comparison like availability. I want to buy 1 lockpick. And it will cost us 38 copper pieces. I'm fine with that. Thank you. Because we have a chest over here we want to open. Oh, and there's something over here. Do I want to use it? Yes, please. And we succeeded. We actually earned 10 experience for doing this. And inside there is a potion of minor endurance. It is an instant effect, whereas the first one happens over 12 seconds. and it actually recovers 50 endurance, which is near our maximum actually. I think we got 49. And in here we find some Deerodian clothing. It's worth 20 copper. Offers no damage reduction. Let's see what it looks like on our character actually. It's just a daily outfit. Right, oh, seeing if right clicking would equip it, but no. Some vendor food, I'm guessing, unless we find a character who isn't wearing clothes, which would be probably awkward.
Stay quiet.
Now, I pressed Alt there instead of Tab by mistake, but actually activated scouting mode, which I might as well describe now while we're going through some of the game mechanics. We haven't even left the caravan's encampment yet, but there's a lot to go through, and there's probably more in the next video as well. But as I say, once we get it out the way, we can begin for real. So while scouting, our characters will develop a circle underneath indicating we are in scout mode. Your character's selection circles will start to fill with a yellow when a character is starting to be detected. Once the circle is filled, the character is suspicious and will move to investigate. When the circle fills fully red, the character will be discovered. While in the scout mode, we can find hidden objects and obviously try to be stealthy. But if we actually touch another character, we will be fully discovered. So yeah, this game Caravan sees us straight away. Maybe if we played as a rogue, we might be able to pickpocket him. I don't think there's a pickpocket option here though. But we don't need to do anything right now. Is there anything else to investigate around here? Just have a quick save. Nope. So now we can set out actually on our adventure. There's a few more things I need to go through. But we'll wait for some actual combat, and anything else I've missed I'm sure will creep up on us, and a tutorial message will say, by the way, you forgot to mention this, and that's when we'll get to it. Oh, hello.
Sure.
So, this has been AnthWolf, and this of course has been Pillars of Eternity, and we will continue our exploration and search for the spring berries in the next video. Hopefully our character doesn't drop dead in the meanwhile. So, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye now.